Hello, let's watch TV listeners. Yeah. Oh, I kind of really messed that up at the end.
Well, you messed the whole thing up, but I wish we had a new intro for the show. Then you wouldn't have to sing. Remember before?
You want a new intro for the show too?
Yeah, I want it all. Hi, Joe. Welcome, everybody.
Start tossing out some cash then, Fran. Toss out that cash.
Hello, everybody.
Before we
Welcome
get into it,
Let's Watch TV.
Welcome to Let's Watch TV. The past few weeks, I haven't done this, and I have meant to. Just so you guys are aware, I am my upcoming shows. I'm going to be in Edmonton in August. I'm taking the rest of August off, and then September starts the fall winter tour for real. Orlando, Tampa, San Diego, Toledo, Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, Houston, Dallas, Minneapolis, Omaha, Kansas City, Des Moines, Buffalo, Hartford, Albany, Syracuse, Royal Oak, Michigan. Ooh. 3 shows. There's only tickets left for that Sunday on the 19th, November 19th. Get your tickets. Then Tempe, then Charlotte, Raleigh, North Carolina. Get your tickets at Mr.D x3.com.
And your Montreal
Mr.D
show
x3.com has passed already because we're recording for the future.
Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I got to trust you and learn to shut up. Anyway.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
So, well, you know what? Let's do the voicemail before we even talk about this show. Here we go.
Hey, this is Amanda Apostella in New Britain, Connecticut. You guys need to watch The Curious Case of Natalia Grace on Max. I'm on episode 6, and it is like, it just gets weirder and weirder as it goes on. Like, it's like a train wreck. I can't stop watching.
Amanda, first of all.
Amanda, thank you.
Mom, the fans of the podcast send us the wildest shit sometimes. And I have to say, the Curious Case of Natalia Grace that Amanda told us to watch might take the cake of the weirdest shit. Just so you guys know, write this down before anything else happens. The Let's Watch TV hotline is open to you. You can call the Let's Watch TV hotline and submit your submissions just like Amanda did. Go ahead and call 248-383-5753. 248-383-5753. Go ahead and give it a call. Give us your suggestions. Anyway, Amanda, thanks for making us watch The Curious Case of Natalia Grace on Max. Holy shit balls.
Well, okay, there's 2 things. Let me talk about the premise real quick. I brought up HBO Max. I went to the show.
Oh, it's just Max now. They've
Max.
cut the HBO.
Right.
It's
okay.
Just Max.
So I read the premise. I always read what it's about. And it said, is Natalia a neglected young girl or dangerous adult masquerading as one? And season 1 said the Barnett family's adoption is based on terrifying lies. Who is this person? Well, when I read that, I linked it with your text at 1:30 in the morning, said, holy shit, this thing is crazy right off the bat. 5 minutes in, and it's insane. I couldn't watch it.
You didn't watch it at all?
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't hit the button.
You couldn't watch?
I couldn't hit the button. I thought
couldn't hit the button.
I was so terrified to hit that button that I couldn't do it. Anything about kids or adoption or brutal or being anything. I can't do this because
So you didn't even watch it this morning when the sun was up?
Even when you asked me, did you watch it? I said yes, and I couldn't do it. It's like asking me to go into a haunted house, and there's no way in hell I'm going in a haunted house. And this is what this was like. I would
be mad, but I have done this to you.
Good.
I have done this
That's
to you.
Right.
So I guess I'll just explain, and you just ask questions as we go along.
Oh my God.
Was freaky as hell.
That's what you told me.
Okay. Amanda said that she got through multiple episodes, and I only got through one I will 100% be watching the rest of the docuseries.
You only went through episode 1?
Yeah.
And you were,
and I need to keep watching.
And you were that animated in the first one?
Mom, it's freaky as hell. First of all, the premise is there's a little girl who was adopted from Ukraine, and you don't know if she's a psychotic little girl or if she has dwarfism. She has dwarfism, right? But they're pretty sure that she's an adult woman.
Oh my
God. And this was an elaborate scam. But here's the thing. I just want everybody to know, I did not finish the documentary yet. So everything I'm going to tell you in this episode of Let's Watch TV are based on my opinions of what happened within episode 1.
But did the parents think they were adopting a child?
Okay. So they were in the process of adopting a child from Haiti. Okay. And then these Haitian earthquakes happened and Haiti ceased adoption. Sound familiar?
Yes.
Yes. We were in the adoption well, we weren't. I wasn't. I was a kid.
Yeah, we were with Poland and it was crazy. Anyway, go ahead.
And then 9/11 happened.
Yes.
And that got shut down. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So then they randomly got this email from another adoption agency that had reviewed their adoption information and was like, hey, we have a kid for you. This is about her, and this family ran a special needs daycare and all this stuff. And they're like, we know you run a special needs daycare. We think that this child is perfect for you. She lands tomorrow. You have 24 hours to tell us. If not, she's going straight to foster care. So this family was like, oh shit, we have to go. So they packed up everything and they're from Indiana, flew to Florida to get this kid, right? And they said that in retrospect, there was red flags that they should have paid attention to that they didn't. So, they pull up to the adoption agency and it's a rundown building in a strip mall.
Oh,
that's an adoption agency. And they're they're just going to hand us a kid right here in this weird Floridian strip mall. And he said the neighborhood was kind of an other side of the tracks neighborhood.
seedy.
And he said that minimal paperwork, sign. Great, you're getting the kid. They only had a few pictures. They had a Ukrainian birth certificate. The kid was 6. Their youngest was 6. They had 3 boys already. They're introducing the girl. They're so excited. But what they didn't know is when they got there, what it appeared to them was another family was dropping Natalia off because they were they were giving up on her, and they were the new adopted family. That's all they knew. And in their minds, in the moment, they were like, how dare that family give up on this girl with dwarfism? And, then they took her in and they said right away, Natalia was like, mommy, daddy, just very
Where was she from? Natalia?
Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
By the way, in this documentary, the adopted dad keeps calling it the Ukraine. And I do know that a lot of people say, why do we say the Ukraine? Do you know?
I don't know why. I don't
either. Is it Ukraine or is it the Ukraine? I don't know.
No.
Ukraine, whatever. Ukraine. And then they're in Florida. So they decide that they're going to be together as a family, go to Disney World with her and do some stuff with her. And they said everything was going really well according to plan. And then towards the end of their trip, the mom had to help Natalia take her first bath. Everything's going fine, right? And the mom screams and the husband comes in and he's like, what's wrong? And Natalia's in the bath and the mom whispers to him, look down. And Natalia has full bush, full pubic hair. And they're like, this girl is 6. This girl is 6. So they were like, that's weird. They go, but genetics are different. Every kid's different. Like, what's going on? And they do like some searching. And they're like, yeah, the absolute earliest that a child could like start developing pubic hair based off what they read is 8.
So they're that's like, young.
Mm-hmm. And that's young. And they're like,
but this girl looked like, just because she had dwarfism.
She had dwarfism.
Yeah, but even with dwarfism, you could have adult-looking features. I mean, that's typically.
I'll get there. She had the rarest form of dwarfism known to anyone. Like, very, very rare dwarfism. That's it. Okay?
Okay.
So time goes on, and things are fine. Things are going okay. They're not really noticing anything like weird or strange yet. And they find a doctor in their town, Natalia's doctor, who has worked with another 6-year-old or 5-year-old who is in the same area of the United States and also has this incredibly rare form of dwarfism. Okay. So they're like, let's see if that family wants to meet. Let's see. Both families are like, yay. Oh my God. We can like meet you. We can meet, like our kids will have each other to like ask questions and talk and bond over this like insanely rare disorder that they have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the mom of the other family agrees to do a play date. They meet, and they're the same age, right? I think they're 6. They're both 6, right? And they meet, and immediately they realize that Natalia is double the size of this other girl. And they're like, okay. And then they started to realize that girl has this rare form of dwarfism, but she definitely still looks like a little child in the face.
Right.
And then Natalia kind of had like a more pronounced forehead, bigger cheekbones, like whatever. And they said from that moment on, Natalia would walk around puffing her cheeks out to have like fatter, bigger, like baby cheeks. They kind of noticed, and they were like, that's weird. And then the mom was a little freaked out because like Natalia for her age was like speaking full sentences, like had really good language and had like really, really good English. And the mom was just like, something's weird here. So the mom of the other family, that was one and done. We're not hanging out with this family anymore, right? So then the family starts talking and they're like, Natalia's from the Ukraine. She doesn't have any accent at all. She must have had English for a very long time, but from the documents that they had, she lived in Ukraine for the first 4 to 5 years of her life. So they were part of this community for some sort of community thing, and they met a woman whose like relative was straight from Ukraine. And they were like, oh my God, how amazing would it be if Natalia hears like her native language for the first time, and like how exciting that must be for her. So they bring this woman, and they said the woman immediately approached Natalia and started speaking Ukrainian, and Natalia went silent for 4 days.
Because she couldn't speak the language.
Pure silence. She couldn't speak the language, right? So then one thing happened where the family was like, what the fuck? And they found hidden period underwear in Natalia's room. And they said that they asked her about it, and she was like playing shy. Like she was like, I didn't want to tell you. Like I was so scared. Like this is like, I don't know, this happens. Like I don't know what's happening, stuff like that. And they're like, no. There's no way a 6-year-old's having her period. Like this is and then hiding it. Right?
Yeah. They've done a lot of naive things already.
Well, a lot, right?
Yeah.
Which is why the first episode. Okay, I'm gonna get to that. And then now things start taking a really weird turn. Okay, now I don't know what to believe, but what I do know is that they interviewed the dad of this family. The mom's not in it yet, but there's audio recordings of the mom. And they're also interviewing one of the sons. And all of their stories are equally like going together. Okay.
But you haven't seen the mom on tape yet?
Not yet.
Oh.
Natalia started doing really crazy stuff. She would find items that the little boys liked, like that they were very, very attached to, and she would steal it and hide it for like a period of time. Then she would keep it on her, and she would wait until the family was crossing the street. And because now Natalia had her dwarfism, she was last, and she would pull out this toy or whatever that the kid was wanting. She would wait till they would see her, and then she would drop it in the middle of the street and keep going. So the kid had to chase it when a car was coming.
Oh my God.
And then she started hoarding knives under her bed. She would take the steak knife, she would take the butcher knife, and she would hoard it under her bed. And then the dad said one night he woke up, he heard a noise, and he went and he opened Natalia's bedroom door, and she was standing in the middle of the room. And he said, "Natalia, what are you doing?" And she said, "Waiting for you to fall asleep." But he was like, "What the fuck?" And then another night, he woke up in the middle of the night. He heard a little stir. He wasn't sure what it was. And Natalia was standing at the base of his bed with a kitchen knife. And he said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I don't know." And he said, "Drop the knife." And she said, "Okay." He said, "Go to your room and go back to sleep." And she did. Well, they immediately put her into therapy.
I mean, they could go back to sleep. Yeah. These people could just go back to sleep. Go to your room. Okay, everything. I'll call therapy in the morning. Are you kidding me?
Therapy told the family that they are in grave danger and that they are dealing with a person who is a diagnosed sociopath, and there is nothing they can do to help. This is an extreme case of childhood sociopathism. I don't know.
But she really was a child.
From what we think from the first episode, we believe the family's story. But now there's these other people who are involved who are in the next upcoming episodes who are going to defend, yes, Natalia is a child. They're going to go into the background of the family and show you all this twisted shit about the family and like why the family might be not telling the truth. And there is like, that's apparently this whole docuseries is like, who's telling the truth? That's what the theme of this entire thing is.
Oh my God. So you don't, so who was this agency that they got her from?
Some sketchy, I forgot the name, but it was like a sketchy adoption agency in Florida.
Those parents, that's weird, because how could parents be so ignoring so many important things? That's the weird part, because I even know when we were adopting from Poland, you know, all the children that they would give us to review for adoption. First of all, I asked for medical records. And in these European countries, you know, like Poland and Ukraine and Russia, Romania, the medical records were not well taken with these kids in the adoption agencies. So you didn't have good medical records. So the first thing I did is ask for those, and then took what I had to the pediatrician and asked about this, and this. I asked a lot of questions because you know that kid's going to be in your life. Right?
Yeah.
And every kid, we must have looked at 8. Every kid had eye surgery. Every kid that they gave me records for had eye surgery. I said, really? What did I get? An ophthalmology adoption agency or orphanage?
Something. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? That was weird.
Yeah, there was. Right. Red flags, red flags.
Right. So, yeah, something is weird. Something is weird all the way around here.
Yeah, so it's freaky deaky. It is addicting. It's another true crime situation, and it is bizarre. It is bizarre. But I do kind of remember this case being on the news some time ago.
I don't.
Yeah, it was around like 2012, 13-ish time.
Yeah.
I kind of remember this being like a thing. Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm glad I didn't. I thought it was more like, I couldn't watch it because you made it sound so freaky, scary, not freaky.
Oh, it's a little girl at the base of your bed with a butcher's knife isn't scary, freaky to you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because even to this day, when I think of the movie Psycho and Deliverance, I still get freaked out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So there's things that still to this day freak me out. And I'm thinking, I can't watch this show.
Freaky,
are you going to finish
scary,
it?
Freaky. Probably over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too wild to not. It's like, it's some crazy shit.
Right.
This is some crazy shit. This is like a documentary that people are like, oh, he's going to like this one. And
you did.
am invested. Yeah.
You did. So you liked it. And that was from Amanda.
That was from Amanda.
Thank you,
yeah,
Amanda,
thank you,
for
Amanda.
Joey. But don't send me horror stories. I can't deal with horror.
Amanda from Connecticut. Thank you. And you guys, again, don't forget, you can always submit your submissions of what you want us to watch. Just call us in at 248-383-5753. 248-383-5753.
Well, I think that
yeah, I don't really like freaky shit either, really.
Did that freak you out? Or was it just weird?
No, it freaked me out. I had to go. After I was done watching episode 1, I watched The Great Pottery Throwdown and laid in bed till I fell asleep. I was like holding Matt. I know. So here's my thing: is my dog makes me feel like so safe and protected, and when I'm holding him, and then like someone walks by late at night and he barks, but at the same time I'm like, why are you barking? Like you're gonna do anything?
No, but still,
85-pound golden retriever.
You know, Louis would lick them to death, but when he would do that bark, he sounded mean. People don't know what's behind your door. They don't know. They know there's a dog in there, but they don't know it's a golden retriever. Nor do they know.
Oh, they don't, because ours sits right up in our bedroom window and looks out the window at everybody, and they could see.
But they don't know if he's mean. If he sounds mean, they know they're taking a risk to go in your house. Because he could be one of those that sits right up and, and then you come near him and then Cujo, comes out,
Seriously.
So I,
crazy.
I quit trying to stop Louis from barking in the house, but then he would charge people on the street. When people would go walk by our house, he would run up to him like a mad dog, and the people and their families would be running all over the street trying to get away from him.
Oh, no, seriously?
And we would always have to say, he's nice, he won't bite you. It's like, if that was me, I wouldn't know if that dog was going to bite me or not. Oh, he would.
Seriously.
And then he would stop. The people would stop. He'd stop and he'd look up at him and wag his tail for a pet. But
right, it's crazy.
But Sue D said you got to stop
he was yelling
that.
Like, hey!
Yeah. Sue D told me you've got to shake like a penny can, something loud to get them to stop. So.
Yeah, but when he's coming at you, if he's running away at somebody else and you're standing at your driveway shaking a penny can, that's not really going to cut it.
I know it. Anyway, yeah, the Goldens do make you feel better. Well, that sounded interesting, and I'm glad I didn't watch it. No way in hell. And don't people ever have me watch anything with clowns in it either. I can't stand clowns or...
You can't do clowns.
I can't do clowns. I can't do that at all.
Can't do clowns. Can't do clowns.
No.
So anyway, what do you got for some segments?
Now it's time for Mama's Fran segments. The first one is, I have a bone to pick.
Oh, Jesus.
I wonder how people...
I have one. Do you have one?
I wonder how people like these segments. I'm liking them anyway.
Let us know in the YouTube comments. Let us know.
Yeah.
And also, you guys leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps boost the podcast. And just share it. Share it on your Instagram story. Share it on something.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, it'd be great. This segment, I have a bone to pick, can also be called something that's very annoying. You can do that. Anyway, do you want to go first? Do you have one? I'm always going first. Do you want to go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay.
You can go first. I just talked so much about the show.
Let me just get I've got 10 of the most annoying human traits, but the one that really bothers me is interrupting other people when they talk. I have tried my best not to do that because it's rude, number one. If somebody is talking to you or talking to other people and people interject, that's rude. But even worse, let's say you're with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or significant other, and I've noticed in people, and their significant other is talking, telling a story, and then people jump in and talk for them and interrupt them and start telling the story. That's rude. So that is annoying. I wish people would stop that.
I do. And I have a bad habit of interrupting sometimes. I'm definitely more cognizant of it. But going off of that, one thing that bothers
wait a minute. Let me just read this because it's interesting why people do that. Okay. Can I just finish that? It says, do you interject when others are speaking? Do you always have a cooler story to add? You might be more interesting than the person speaking, or you might be hilarious with a raft of great stories to tell, but wait your turn. Give others, especially quieter people, a chance. It's especially poor form when you barge in with yet another fascinating fact about yourself. All roads shouldn't lead back to you. And that's a good thing to...
Now, I did read something recently on Twitter or something like that. Someone said, can we stop normalizing that when someone says a story, you say a similar story?
Right.
And I'm like, isn't that conversation though? Honestly, they're not going to tell their story, and I'm not just going to say, and here's mine. I'm going to ask and talk and dialogue about their experience and what happened. But then to keep the conversation going, isn't that keeping a conversation going?
I think it depends how you do it.
And isn't that relating? Isn't that being I have something in common with you?
I think the way you do it, like you just said, being interested in what they say, drawing out more information on their story and having them tell more, and then you finding the commonality is different than they finish their story and you go, and then, I had that happen too. And when I had that, then it sounds like you're trying to one up somebody. So it's all about conversation style and timing to me.
Yeah,
that's what makes the difference.
Agree.
That's what makes the difference. So
I totally agree. And asking about it and being invested and being engaged in what they're saying and then moving on to but that is a thing, a human experience. You want to relate. If someone's telling a story about a cool hike they went on,
right?
I'm going to be interested in ask and talk, but then I want to tell you about one that I did too.
Right. Exactly. It's all about timing and listening. It's all about listening too, so that's good.
Now, one thing that bothers me is when somebody has older children, I'll say, I'm going to say 3rd grade and to whatever, okay? At least 3rd grade. So we're going to say 8, 9 years old, right? And you ask a question to the kids.
Oh.
And the parent swoops in and is like, oh, yeah, they went to camp and they love this. I asked them.
Oh, I agree. That makes me nuts.
It drives me insane. And the other thing, too, is it's okay, maybe they're shy and maybe they're not going to, give me a lot to work with. But at least first give them the opportunity to give me a one-word answer at bare minimum.
Oh, and they could be very much used to their parent speaking for them, so they stay silent. Now that really...
it's enabling. I hate it.
Totally. And it's making them more socially awkward when you do that.
Right.
And more socially shy. Right. So, I agree with you.
I've said this before, and people tried to
even 1st grade and 2nd grade, Joe, You want them to start to be able to have conversations.
I know. Now, a couple things. One time I talked about this publicly and people came at me and they're like, what about people with auditory processing disorders? And what about people with autism? And what about and I'm like, I'm not talking about that.
We're not talking about that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you have a neurotypical child who's able to function and you are choosing to have Munchausen syndrome. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's not what I'm talking about. But it drives me insane. And the other thing, too, is like, people will be like, oh, well, they're nervous. Oh, well, okay. You got to teach them, And what I'm going to do with my kid is if an adult is talking to them and giving a conversation and they get shy and they back off, I'm going to give them, a little stem,
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do this summer? And they just stand there and look at me. Tell them about camp.
There you go.
Tell them about
that's right.
the frog you caught. And like prompt them rather than being like, oh, they went to camp. They loved it. It was so cool. It was at the Michigan Science Center. Like, no, I'm not talking to you. Like, what are we doing? Why are we enabling these children?
Typically, I'll bet the person who does it to their child, does it to their spouse, does it to their boyfriend, does it to, they're used to, they want to talk for everybody. That makes me nuts.
Right.
But especially for your child, their growth and development socially is really in another person, even if they were socially had any kind of autism or anything like that, there's still ways for you to manage that initial conversation without talking for them.
Without talking, there is, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe the parents need to learn.
They might want to talk, but maybe the kid is starting to learn. Oh, I don't have to talk because they're just going to talk.
Right, and you make them shy.
They're always going to have you.
Exactly. So that's a good one.
That's not my bone to pick, though.
Shit, man. You're really onto this one. Woo!
My bone to pick is, and I'm so sorry, Mom, you are like a bad culprit of this.
Okay. Tread lightly.
When you are in a parking lot and you are pushing a grocery cart and you need to cross to the other side, or you're just walking to your car. Let's start there. If you're just walking to your car.
With a cart? Without a cart?
With a cart.
Okay.
Walk, or without a cart. Walk closest to the lane that your car is parked in and stay tight to the rest of the cars. I don't know why the hell everybody's just walking down the middle of the lane. Like, that's just what we do. You're a human bowling pin at this point. What are you doing? And if for whatever reason you need to cross the lane to get to the other side, you need to make a 90-degree turn, go straight, and get to the other side, because that's the least amount of walking to get to the other side. These people who are on 60-degree angles, just the most obtuse shit you've ever seen in your life, just walking forever, and I'm behind them like, Cheryl, pick up the pace, move at a glacial pace. You know how it thrills me. What are we doing here and why? And then you give a little beep or you give a motion like, what the fuck? And then they look at you like you're no, bitch. Do it right or don't do it. I'm literally going to take away your Costco your membership because you don't deserve to be in this space.
Okay, Ron. Joe. I will.
Jesus.
I will.
I do have to say that, though. I am catching myself becoming more and more and more like Dad the older I get.
You are.
And I'm just like, I'm going to be out in my garage waiting for people to step on the lawn, I swear.
Dad wasn't like that.
No. We did have a neighbor that was.
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't Dad. It was not. That's not your father.
I won't be like that. But there are certain things that piss me off, and it's like, get it together.
I mean, out of your mouth comes your dad. Pick up the pace. Pick up the pace. Why did you cross the street right there? You needed to come over in this direction and blah, blah, blah. And that car's going to hit you. He always is moving me off the sidewalk. You're going to get hit by a car. I said, I am 68 years old and haven't got hit by a damn car yet in my life until you throw me to the other side.
Looking out for you.
And I'm going to accidentally get hit by a car because of you.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Anyway.
Jeez, God.
Okay, I'll try to remember that. No problem.
Sounds good.
So
Sounds good.
the next, so that was I have a bone to pick, and so the next segment is check this out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. Tell me.
According to Reuters, Reuters, anyway, the South Koreans.
Reuters.
Reuters. I know it, and I
also
can't say it.
I've never heard of this source, so
no, it's a big source. Okay, South Koreans become a year or two younger as traditional ways of counting age is scrapped. It says South Koreans become a year or two younger on Wednesday as new laws that require using only the international method of counting age took effect, replacing the country's traditional method. Under the age system most commonly used in South Koreans' everyday life, people are deemed to be a year old at birth and add a year, and a year is added every January 1.
Oh, so your birthday doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. The country has since the early 1960s used the international norm of calculating from 0 at birth and adding a year on every birthday for medical and legal documentation. But many South Koreans continue to use what they call the traditional method for everything else. So they said, we expect legal disputes, complaints, and social confusion that have been caused over how to calculate age will be greatly reduced. According to the government survey conducted in 2022, 86% of South Koreans say they would use the international age in everyday life when the new law takes effect. One woman said, I was about to turn 30 next year and under the traditional age system, but now I have some time and earned and love it. Now I'm going to be a 27-year-old office worker. It's great to feel young again.
You're still going to age.
Yeah. Another age system exists in South Korea for conscription school entrance and calculating the legal age to drink and alcohol and smoke. And a person's age is calculated from 0 at birth. So for school entrance, smoking, drinking, it's the tradition. It's the normal way of your 0 at birth. To me, that's to enhance business. So tradition, you're really 18 by birth. Okay, now you can. You're not 16. You're 18. Really, now you can drink and smoke and all that. And that's to me to support business rules. But that is insane, don't you think?
Insane. Yeah, it's crazy.
Totally crazy. So that came up. I thought, oh my God, that's interesting. This one is totally.
Wait, but here's the other thing too about that aging thing. The other day I told Morgan I was aging in dog years, and he was like,
no, you're not.
I really truly feel like I am. Yeah, I'm falling apart.
No, you're not.
I got all these ailments.
What's your ailments? I know your back always goes out. You got to be careful of that.
When I wake up.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds like someone just stepped in a pile of very dry twigs.
Are your knees hurting you at all or anything?
Oh my God. It's, I think, what do you have? Degenerative arthritis? when did that start showing up? Oh God. Now we know I'm aging in dog years if I'm sitting here with my 70-year-old mother.
I'm not 70. And according to Korea, I'm only 65.
Well, hey, God,
but
yeah, there we go.
No, I think that the family has degenerative joint disease, but mine didn't start in my knees until I was like 55.
Well, mine started at 34. So
oh my God.
In my elbows. I think. I don't know. I got to go to the doctor. This shit's getting wild.
Really? Why? Is your elbows swollen?
We're not going to sit here and talk about my ailments on the podcast. Next.
Okay.
We got HIPAA laws to abide.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I forgot. Okay. This other story is about a singer divorces a devilishly handsome ghost of a Victorian soldier after less than a year. The singer-songwriter performer who goes by the name of Brocade said she first met the devilishly handsome Eduardo when he burst into her bedroom one day on a stormy night. I'm thinking, put down your romance novel, bitch, and don't quit smoking that marijuana. Crazy shit. And so there's this whole article that she married this ghost who was a soldier, and a year later divorced him because she said he started to get.
How can you marry a ghost?
Well, she did.
Not legally, right?
The spirited love affair hit the headlines when they were married in a chapel on Halloween in 2022. She said that he started to become angry and got too drunk on their honeymoon in Barry Island, Wales. And there's also a video of this ceremony under the article.
Is it just her standing by herself
with a chaplain? And I'm thinking, fuck, he must think, Jesus Christ, what are you smoking dope some more? She said that. After our initial meeting, Eduardo slowly revealed more about himself to me. I saw his images. I saw his images as a Victorian soldier. He was always in his uniform, even on our wedding day. His face is handsome, shoulder length, unruly hair. He looks lived in, well worn, troubled almost. There's a pain attached to his being. So
let's marry him.
So wait a minute. The songwriter, poet, and performer also said she's tired of Eduardo's unsettling fascination with Marilyn Monroe. She said, she claims the soldier's crush on the late iconic Hollywood actress began on their wedding day when he spotted the spirit of Marilyn Monroe in the chapel. She claims the soldier would appear for days before returning smelling of Chanel No. 5, the fragrance that Marilyn Monroe used to have. The singer.
Oh, this woman is writing out a story in real life.
Yeah. So she announced a split. Another crazy thing. People are like, oh my God. Now, I thought to myself, okay, she did this video. I watched it. She talked about.
You watched it. What was the video? Her telling the story of all this?
No, the video is her getting married in this chapel or in this dungeon with a guy who's officiating the ceremony. It's under news.sky.com.
Okay.
And it's singer divorces a devilishly handsome ghost. And if you go, you see her face, and then if you scroll down right in the middle, you see the video. And it says Brocade and Edward's vows.
And she married a 300-year-old ghost pirate.
300? Probably.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm watching the right thing. Was she in like an orange?
No, she's in a black veil, black outfit. And it looked like a crypt with.
I can't find it. Oh well, it's okay.
Am I able to send this to you? Yeah,
okay.
I can send it to you
if you knew how.
I am. I can send it to you on Instagram. I'm going to send it to you right now on Instagram.
No, mom, you can send it right here in the chat.
In your chat? How?
Yeah. Are you reading that?
I am, but I don't know how to get it there.
So type.
Because it's on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do I do? No, come on.
Oh, God.
This is going to take all day.
You just copy the Instagram link.
How?
Oh, never. You know what?
What's
Mom,
the link? What's the link?
We don't have the time. We don't have the time.
Oh, you're going to want to see this.
I
just sent it to you on Instagram, though.
On Instagram. Okay, well.
Just so you can see it. Anyway, that was
We're
weird.
hopping back and forth between technology sources. Here we go.
I know.
Very good.
So anyway, that was weird.
Oh, God.
You got it?
She is ready for... Who is this? Oh, she's grabbing his hand.
Yeah.
She's touching him.
Yeah. Oh.
What is Brocade?
That's her name.
Her?
That's her name.
It is her.
That's her.
This is not real.
Yes, according to her, it was.
This woman is
insane.
Interesting.
Yes.
Brocade reveals that she's divorcing her ghost husband with an exorcism in a new music video.
Ooh. See, I think it's all about, to me, I think it's all about Goofy shit. He's showing anybody who's listening. She's showing
spells on people.
She's. I think this is all for her publicity for whatever she's doing.
I think this is a character. If I have to be honest with you.
But anyway.
Oh.
Are you done looking at that?
Yeah, Brocade. Brocade. I'm pretty sure this is not real because she's just walking around with a ring light taking these pictures for Instagram, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. She married a ghost. Sure, married a ghost. Well, I'm so glad he can see you, but you can't see him. How lucky, how fortunate.
I know.
Anyway, what else you got? Anything else?
The next segment is This Week in Entertainment News.
This Week in Entertainment News. Yeah.
Thank you.
This Week in Entertainment News.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Hey, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, did I give you the 10? Oh, no, that's coming up. Anyway, This Week in Entertainment News. Matt Damon agreed to take an acting break in his couples therapy with his wife, Luciana, before he took on the film Oppenheimer. Matt Damon and his wife negotiated extensively in couples therapy about him taking a break from acting. The one caveat to making time off was that the Oscar winner was called to do this film. He is now working on that. But I thought, with acknowledging this story made up, Damon 52 clarified it's actually true. It was a moment in my life. Let me see. Let me go down just a minute here. A moment in my life that he and his wife had to come together and make some decisions about their relationship. And it was important enough that he's taking a little break from acting to work on his relationship with his wife. And I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that's pretty cool.
That's nice.
Sofia Vergara.
I saw this today.
And Joe Manganiello are getting a divorce after 7 years of marriage. She said they just started to grow apart, and they're both so sweet.
I gotta tell you though, I feel bad about celebrities. It's like you get a divorce and immediately the world has to know about it. There's probably people in their lives who are finding out from reading this shit in the tabloids.
True.
Just sad.
Very true.
Sad. Let them live.
The other thing is, I agree. Gigi Hadid was arrested in the Cayman Islands for marijuana and paraphernalia possession yesterday or today. Yep.
Come on.
Yep. She was.
Come on.
Lindsay Lohan just gave birth to her first child. She did
give birth?
Yep. She has a son.
Oh, wow.
She's 37 years old. Her son's name is, now it's Luai. How would you pronounce it? Luai? It means the shield of protection in Arabic. So
in Arabic, I thought it was Hawaiian.
I did too. And then it said in Arabic, and her husband is Bader Shamus. So anyway, congratulations to Lindsay Lohan, 37 years old.
Luai. I do want to.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did you have one more thing?
No.
I do want to read some of the podcast reviews that we've gotten since we've merged onto our own feed.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to do the PSAs? Which way? I have public service. It's my last segment. Mama Fran's public service announcements.
Sure. Well, let's do this, and then we'll do Mama Fran's public service announcements.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess anything goes here. Great podcast. I love this mother-son duo. They always make me laugh. I love the podcast even when I have absolutely no clue what the show is about. I love that. That was sweet. Thank you. As a mama of boys, I love the relationship between Joe and Mama Fran. It shines through in his hilarious conversation. I always get a good lots of laughs in while listening, and even a show recommendation or two. I love that. Another one. Hilarious delight. My sides hurt from laughing at you guys. Keep it up. I love it. Maybe do a movie sometime. Well, that's a good suggestion.
That's a good one.
Love the pod. Always fun to listen to Joe and Mama Fran. It's such a delight. I always loved the social studies podcast, and I do love all the new segments, and I'm glad the podcast now lives here. If you guys are listening, you're a first-time tuner in, make sure that you subscribe, because we are on our own feed now. For a few years, we were on the social studies podcast feed, and now we are our own entity. So make sure that you tune in. Thank you. Love you. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you
what's your last
so
segment, Mom?
much for those comments. We love it. Even tell us when we're doing a bad John. Anyway,
but not publicly.
and don't make it too hard. My heart will hurt. This segment is called Mama Fran's Public Service Announcements. And public service announcements are things to help people be safe. That's usually, and to do the right thing. That's what public service announcements are. What I did was I looked up some of the most remembered best public service announcements of all time. Can you remember any, Joe?
Say it again.
They are the 10 most remembered. One of the things to make a public service announcement so people can remember what they are.
The ones that are mine are different than the ones that you will remember.
Well, let's see.
An iconic one is, God, I forget the name of the actress. It was somebody who was like very popular in the 90s, and it was for drugs. And she goes, "This is your brain." And she cracks open an egg, and she goes, "This is your brain on drugs."
That's right.
Frying in the pan.
Exactly. This is your brain on drugs is the name of it. This is your brain on drugs is the name of it.
Brain on drugs. This is probably the most iconic of all time. It was Hillary Duff.
Oh, I don't know this.
And she's in the mall, and these teenage girls are trying on shirts. And the one girl goes to the other girl, "What do you think of the shirt?" She goes, "That's gay." And Hillary Duff turns the corner and she goes, "You really shouldn't say that's gay when you mean something is stupid." And the girl goes, "What?" And she goes, "Well, do I think that that's not good?" Or she said something like, or is it stupid, or are you just a teenage girl wearing a denim skirt as a top? It was like, read her, bitch! Yes! It was so good. If that's not on the list, this list is a sham.
Yeah. It might be. There's a bunch of them, and I didn't get to that one. I just pulled up some, but it might be. It might be. I don't know.
That one has to be in there.
Yeah,
it has to.
Look. Do I have any more? Do you have any more?
Public service announcements. Popular public service announcements. I mean, Smokey the Bear, obviously.
I was going to say that was the number one. And what was the announcement?
Only you can prevent forest fires.
That's exactly right. That's the number one.
So Gasper and I, when we were in Arizona, we went to it was basically a collection of dead animals, some who were from Teddy Roosevelt, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And when we left, they're like, "Oh, we love you guys. We have treats for you." And they gave us Smokey the Bear magnets and jar openers. And it was cute.
That's
it was really cute. And I was like, I forgot about Smokey the Bear.
That's right. That's the number one. The other ones are, this one I'll always remember, a buckle up dummy. It was crash dummies in a car on a test thing showing if you don't buckle up your seatbelt, how you go flying through the window and go flipping around inside of a car if you don't wear your seatbelt. So it was buckle up dummies. It was crash dummies. That was one.
I don't remember.
You don't remember it? Oh my God.
Older one?
It's horrifying.
And was it crash dummies flying through the window and stuff?
Oh yeah. They did the whole thing.
Really?
It was like a typical experimental, when people experiment with safety and see, does this work, does that work, and showing what happens when you don't put on your seatbelt and you're going certain miles an hour, and how those dummies were flying over the back of the seat, through the front window. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I buckle up all the time. Plus, Doogie Howser, when we were watching Doogie Howser years ago, right? There was one episode that I'll never forget. And because of that, I wear my seatbelt.
Oh God.
And remember his little girlfriend, who now is a mathematician, but his little friend who was a girl?
On the show?
Yeah, on the show. No. She had dark black hair.
I was a little young, yeah.
Well, her mom died. And they talked about...
In the show?
Her mom died in the show. And they talked about what happened was her mom just put on a beautiful new linen suit for her job that day. And because she didn't want to get it wrinkled, she didn't put on her seatbelt. And she got in an accident, was killed. And I thought, how often do you do that? Saying, oh, I don't want to wrinkle, if I put this seatbelt on, it'll wrinkle my top or whatever. Because of that show that day, I'll never forget it. And I always, no matter if I worry about getting wrinkled or not, I put my seatbelt on. And that is what? That is what, 30 years ago? 30 years ago, that was for sure. Other ones were Big ones were friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Friends don't let friends drive drunk. That one really caught on.
And give a hoot, don't pollute.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, give a hoot, don't pollute is
But
one.
I am a very big not polluter. I saw a guy pollute the other day, and I literally pulled over to get the thing that he threw.
Really? See,
It could have been a tin can of meth. Who knows? But
throwing things. In my day, before all this, watch out for pollution, people used to throw stuff right out of their window of their car. They would throw, like, okay, I'm eating a McDonald's, and there throws the paper out to the side. Cigarettes.
And that was like common to see.
Oh yeah, you would drive inside with somebody and they're throwing a can of pop out the window, and people would throw stuff out the window.
Not to mention it's dangerous that it could just hit you
all the time, and then all of a sudden it was weird to say.
Wait, you were driving and you would just see people throw shit out the window?
Even when I was a kid, people rolled down their windows, throw it out the window, throw whatever it was out the window. You'd see trash on the side of the road all the time. By the way, yeah.
Quick plug. This is not sponsored in the podcast, okay? But I recently, I got to find the name of this. I recently found, I'm a big not plastic user. I try so hard to always take my reusable water bottle places, and I don't really consume single-use plastic, or at least I make a very strong, diligent effort. I'm not going to say always, but I really, really try, because like the plastic consumption in the world is just insane, and most of it's really not recyclable.
Right.
And even when you do recycle a lot of your plastic products, I can go into why, but I'm not going to. Do your own research. A lot of the recycling the plastic that you're putting in recycling doesn't actually get recycled, and it just goes to the landfill anyway, because recycling is pretty much a sham. Like, they are recycling, but like not as good as they make the general public think you're doing by like sorting your shit out. Like, it's not, at least you're making an effort, but it's not what you think. And most plastics like can't even be melted down because of the chemicals that then go into the air. And it's a shit show with plastic.
I gotta go read what those things are.
One of the worst things that people think are being recycled but actually can't are plastic jugs of laundry detergent.
I always put mine in the recycle bin.
Right. Really, usually not getting recycled, even though you're putting it in your recycle bin. And I really am not 100% sure why, but I did do some research and watched various different things on both sides of the spectrum to get a mindset. And it's not. So, and also, did you know that in that liquid laundry detergent, 80 to 90% of the ingredients is water? It's just water.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So this is not sponsored, everyone, but about 2 years ago, I switched over to a product called Earth Breeze. Have you ever heard about it?
Yes, I have.
I was skeptical because sometimes when you go to the eco-friendly product, sometimes it's not as good as the product you used before, and it's really hard to do that, right?
Right.
Earth Breeze is basically dehydrated laundry detergent, but or something, I don't know, but it's laundry detergent sheets.
Yes.
That you throw in with your laundry instead of liquid laundry detergent, and it comes in a biodegradable or compostable paper packaging. It gets mailed to your house, and the way that they mail it to you is it's a carbon neutral delivery service. So when they deliver it to you, you're also not having that effect on the environment too. It's called Earth Breeze, and also the product itself, so good. I actually prefer doing my laundry with Earth Breeze sheets.
I'm going to look at it. Is it expensive? Usually, sometimes it's so expensive.
It's a little bit expensive, but I buy it in bulk to bring the price down.
Where do I get it?
I buy a shitload at a time. Just go to type in Earth Breeze and you'll find it.
Does Amazon carry it?
I'm giving this place a huge plug, but I got to tell you, it is so good.
I'll check it.
It's like,
so they're laundry sheets.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to try
Laundry
them.
sheets, like detergent sheets.
Now,
But the best part about it, I love that the packaging is paper. I love that it's a carbon neutral delivery. It's like full service good for the environment, not just the product itself.
So,
You know, being wrapped in plastic and then,
Yeah, right. There's so much packaging is the most expensive part of the product you buy. And it's all...
Yeah, not this.
You know,
and then,
I'm going to
and then when you're done with the sheets, you can just put that in your compost or put it in your...
recycle
Put
bin.
that paper in your recycling bin. You could use it for, tinder for your fireplace, whatever you want. It's like, it's not...
Well,
not bad.
maybe next week is our PSA. We can talk about things that are recyclable and not recyclable.
We'll have to do some research because we're not experts, but for sure, I like that idea. Anyway, you guys,
there's one more thing
to see me on the road.
There's one more thing.
Well, we don't have time, so you got to save that for the next episode or spit it out.
I can't, but this is really a safety thing.
Mom, we don't have time. Spit it out. Go, hurry up.
10 ways to stay safe when you're home alone.
Give us the top 2.
Get to know your neighbors.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'll wait till next week. I'll do this next week.
Get wait till next week. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for tuning into the socials. Let's Watch TV. You catch me live on the road. Get your ticket. I'm coming all over the place. I don't even have time to list the cities. Get your tickets at Mr.D times3.com. And as always, thank you for tuning in to
Let's Watch
TV. And thank you so much, Amanda. Don't forget to call on the hotline at 248-383-5753. We love you guys so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.